There, one Paul here. Today I'm going to teach you guys a powerful strategy for trading the US30. And I'm not going to go into it in today's video, but you can basically set up a Forex account, and you could have a USD account and a Satoshi based account. And you can use this strategy twice. You could use it for the USD account and the Satoshi account. So you can trade the US30 and you can make more USD and you can make more Satoshi. I'm not going to go how to set that up. I've talked about it in other videos, but basically you can use this strategy and build two sources of income. But I've made other videos I've talked about in other videos, so just refer to those videos. I'll probably mention it again somewhere along the line. I just want to show you today how to set up a two-step trading strategy for the US30 and how to find really good moments of finding good trades. If you guys can master direction with the US30, you can really turn a 0.01 into a, from what I see in the numbers, about 400, 500 on an average trade, and you know, you could just scale up from there. So this strategy helps, and it really helps find those big moments in trades. So I'm going to show you how to set it up with the strategy. I mentioned it in yesterday's video where I went over to the stocks, but today we're going to be going over how to use it for the US30. Okay, so for the strategy, we're going to be doing it on the hour. You can find a lot of good signals on the hour. Well, I base it on the hour. I don't think, with this particular strategy, I don't do anything smaller than 1 hour. I do 1 hour, maybe even 6 hour. So you could do this on a with doing it on the hour, you don't have to look at the charts all the time. There's certain moments that you have to be aware of. So to set this up first, you need to get your CM EMA trend bars. Now you can set this up either. You can, if you haven't got Ghost Market Pro, you can get Ghost Market Pro, and you'll basically have to load it up with the swing if you got Ghost Market Pro, and basically you check everything off. You check everything off here except for the last two and the 9095. You'll get that all in one indicator, but Ghost Market Pro is a nice paid indicator, but I'm not going to go into it. I've made videos on it, but that's kind of a easy way of getting just two indicators in one. You can also do the regular 3 smooth moving averages, and you can punch into formulas with the 3 smooth moving averages. Change the colors if you want, and then you just will have to put 990.95 right here. The only negative to this strategy is you'll look at the bars. They'll have color, but they won't be color coded. The reason I do CM EMA trend bars is because they change colors according to the trend, so you'll know if something is getting more bullish or bearish. So you'll notice that it starts turning green here for bullish, and it turns red for bearish. That's why I like it. So the settings for CM EMA trend bars is 9, 90, and 95. So then the next thing you got to set up is your difference in 2 moving average. You can go here to your indicators, and you can go to difference in 2 moving averages. To look like this on default, you're going to have to change it. And you change it to 9 and 20. You change it to 9 and 20. And then you'll have it set it up like this. So what we want to do is we want to look at the US30 on the hour. And currently right now it is Sunday, so the market isn't moving. So what you want to look for the strategy is basically the first thing you want to look for is all the crossing points. So it's right here. You want to focus on all the moments when it crosses. So we find a cross here. I'll just draw a little line. We'll look at a couple of them. Crosses here. Crosses here. And to make things easier, you can turn off your candles and you can find all your crossing points. Makes it a little easier. Crosses here. Crosses there. We'll look at a couple of these. And I would do this, before you start any trades. If you know that you want to trade the US30, I would do this beforehand, just to point out where all the moments were where it crossed. Right there. Look at a couple more. Crosses right here. This is a big one. Crosses right here. Cross right there. Crosses right here. We'll do one more. We'll do that one right here. Crosses right here. So you take note of all the times it crosses. It's now we can turn the candles back on. So what you want to do is you want to get in your trades when it crosses. So the whole point of the strategy, if it, the first step is to get in when it crosses, because you'll notice that when it crosses, and we could draw another line, but for the most part, the moment where it crosses, it usually doesn't come back to that crossing point for a while. If you find yourself in a long trade, it doesn't usually come back to this point, this cross intersection, for a long time. So you could basically ride it out. So if we do this on the hour, let's just look at this, for example. If you came in right here where it crossed, you could have rode this entire thing out from here to here. And you can look at you can also refer to your EMA difference here. And as long as it stays green, you're good. For the most part, as long as it stays green, you should be good. So if you rode this entire thing out, it has never returned to the point where it crossed. So this is 8 days so far, and this would have been basically turned in 1 cent into $1,544 if you rode that entire thing out in 8 days. So I kind of want to go over 2 scenarios here. The scenario 1 is you get in at the cross. And scenario 2 is if you miss the cross, where are good times to get in? So this is why I do it on the hour, because you get more of the direction here. So we could have got in right about here. And here to here, if we follow the difference of 2 moving averages, we'll scalp it. If you've missed the cross, you'll scalp it all the way until the green turns into dark green. And if you're doing a sell, it'll be light red. So basically, this is our trade right here. If we didn't want to wait that 8 days, this would be our trade right here. So if we took just this trade, this would have been a 0.01 turned into $388. So the next point of getting in, if you miss that cross, would be when it turns light green again. So that would be right about here. If you get into this trade, you can write it out for these 2 bars right here, right about here. And this one is about $131. You turned a 0.01 into $131. So the next point of getting in will be right here. We see it with the EMA difference. We ride this out for a couple hours. And this one's just $82. So we ride it out, and here's another good run right here. It turns into a light green, and we ride it out from here a couple hours. And this is $168. And if we want to scalp it again, we find the next moment where they turn light green, which is right here. Ride this out till it stops turning light green, and that would be right about here. This is 0.01, and you made about $451 there. Okay, so that's the end. Let's look at another crossing point. So that was that one. So now we're going to be doing a put. Well, not a put. We're going to be doing a sell order now. So you could have come in right where it crossed, and if you take notice right here, ask yourself, at the point of it crossing, do the candles ever come back to this moment? Do the candles ever come back to this moment? And you'll realize that it hasn't crossed back up through these candles. So everything from this zero line here is profit if you just followed it. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure you follow the whole thing here if you want to. It's all up to you on the trade. So if you follow this entire trade here from all the red down here below the zero line, from here to here, it's about you turned 0.01 into $380. If you came out down where it stopped turning bright green, that's right about here, you made about $468. So if you find a cross and you ride the whole thing out, you'll usually find that if it's a long trade, it usually won't return to this cross point for some time. Now, there are some moments in some trades where it's going to be, consolidating. You have to be careful on the consolidation moments, and because you will find those. So one thing I like doing is I like putting on my consolidation zone. You find all the consolidation zones. So if it's if you find a cross and it's also consolidating, I personally wouldn't do that trade. But we might be able to find it. Like, here's an example right here. Well, I don't think this one is that bad, but let's just look at it anyway. It's not as big as the other trades we were talking about, but you see the cross happening right here. And you could also see that the 920 down here, the columns here aren't as big. So these aren't as big as trades. So we still see that moment of, if you got in at the cross, the candles don't touch it. The candles still don't touch the moment. So you can ride the whole thing out pretty much. So from here, and if we just follow this entire run from here to about here to the end of it, this is about $130. So this is a little bit less than what we were doing, the results from the other times. So you'll find some big ones and some small ones. And if you want to scalp it, you can scalp this right here, this small moment right here. And this is $113. You rode that out. So that's a small moment right there, but it still does work. Let's see if we can find any other big moments. So we find another cross right here. Crosses right here. So if you rode this entire thing out. Now, first thing you want to look at is, now here's a scenario. Here's a scenario where it does return back. It does return back to where it crossed. But if you got out in time, you'll be good. And if you followed the EMA difference, you probably would have got out in time. So if you followed it from the cross, which is right here, here to here, till the end of it being green, Still right here, you would have made, see, that's what? $645 for that trade. So if you miss the cross, you can just come in and scalp certain moments in this section. So you can scalp over here, here to here. That's a moment right there. It's $206. You scalp this moment right here. 273 right there. So you can scalp little moments, and this is why I do it on the hour, because it helps you find a lot of the good trades. Let's look at another moment. Now this one should be a big one. It looks like a big one. Now this is a big trade. We see that it crossed way up here, and if you drew a line, you will notice that it has never returned. It has never returned to this crossing point. So if you rode this entire thing, that's 17 days, this is about $2,000. So in 17 days, you made about $2,000. Yeah, and you can scalp all the little moments. There's a lot of good scalping moments with this too. From the cross, you got from here to here, which is $311. You got a little small one there. That one's consolidating right there. And you got this one right here to here. This one is $695 in 8 hours. $695 in 8 hours. And here's a small one right here. We got 241 right there. And then there's a lot of consolidation. There's another moment right here. This one's about $439. This one right here. This one's about $511. And this is all with a 0.01 lot size. So you're basically taking 1 penny and you're making these numbers. So we got another one right here. This one is $487. And you got this last one right here. This last one right here got about $451. So you can make a lot of money trading the US30. You just have to get good at knowing the direction. I don't think I have any more here. Well, yeah. Let's do one more. Let's just do this small one right here. So, first thing you want to take note is from the point of the cross, does it ever come back to this crossing point? It does not. For the most of it, you can ride the whole thing out from here to here to the end of it being on the 0 line. And you can make $531 in 5 days. Or, if you miss the cross, you can scalp these certain areas here. From here. That's 216. And then you got one like right here, which is about 144. So this strategy works really well with this combination strategy. The first thing you want to look for is if it's crossing, and for the most part, now there are during the consolidation periods you might have to be a little bit more careful, but for the most part with this strategy, you'll usually find that it does not return. It does not return back to that point where it crosses if you ride this out long enough. I get in when I try to find the crossing points, and then I get in. But other than that, I find the moments on the hour to where it's either a light green or a light red. After the crossing point, if I miss that cross, I'll scalp it on the moments where it turns light green, because usually in those moments you'll find some pretty good scalps. So, like we saw in the video, you can still scalp it and get in and out within an hour or two and still make some pretty decent profit. But anyway, I find out that this combination works really well for the US30. Now, like I said, you can do this two different ways. You could have it based off of a USD account and a Satoshi based account. You just have to find a broker and set up a USD account and a Satoshi account, which I personally do both, because, you know, why not make a USD account and a Satoshi account? Because you could follow this strategy and it doesn't matter what Bitcoin is doing, you could still make more Satoshi, which is an advantage, because no matter what Bitcoin's doing, you could still make some more Satoshi. And with this formula, you can actually make a lot of Satoshi with it. So anyway, if you guys like this video, I do have a Discord, and I'm trying to build a community of traders. So if you want to join, I'll put the link below. Anyway, if you guys like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. See you guys in future videos.